To the point, informative, entertaining, and protecting the Second Amendment. Welcome back to Elfster's Rifles and Reloading. In the review of the updated Teslong rigid borescope. Now, if this is the first time watching one of my videos, you're new to my channel, I've actually done a review on the original Teslong rifle borescope that is roughly 40 inches long. And I gave it rave reviews. I'm a huge fan of this borescope, especially for $49.99 shipped, and it does an amazing job. And I have suggested this not only to my friends, but also the viewers of this channel, and also on my Facebook page. You get a lot of bang for your buck for what it is, especially for $50 shipped. And if you're not familiar with that video on the original Teslong borescope with a flexible shaft, check out the description box below and I'll have a link to that video, because there's a lot of things in that video that I'm not going to double cover in this video in regards to installing your software, getting this up and running. Because regardless if you're using the flexible 40-inch original Teslong borescope or the rigid borescope, they use the same software, so keep that in mind. Might not even be a bad idea to get both of them, but there is one thing that I really need to bring up, at least to Teslong. It's one of those deals where you're running that marathon, and right as you're about to get to that finish line, you stop. Now, both the original Teslong flexible borescope for $49.99 shipped and the rigid shipped for $69.99 are pretty much identical, other than the obvious fact that this one's rigid and this one's flexible, and they both have their advantages and disadvantages. You know, they both record in 720p HD resolution direct to your computer's hard drive or your phone. Now keep in mind, these only work with Android and Windows and MacBook, but it doesn't work with iPhone, so keep that in mind. If you are thinking about using this product with an iPhone, it doesn't work with an iPhone. They both have a 1 centimeter short focal length and, a side view mirror. And if you're looking at borescope, especially something like an endoscope that only looks down the rifle's bore, in my opinion, if your borescope doesn't look to the side like these Teslong borescopes, it's worthless. And that's where these really shine. Both of these, the rigid and the flexible, have a 45-degree side-facing mirror, so you can actually inspect the side of your borescope. If your borescope just looks down the bore, in my opinion, and I've said this in part 1, it's completely useless. And that's where these really shine. And you can actually adjust the focus on these. You can screw this out, you can screw it back in. There's a little coupler here, so you can screw that out and lock that focal length down. So that's really important, and both of these have that, the flexible and the rigid. Some other advantages is they're 0.2 inch diameter, so you can use these all the way down to something like a 22 LR rifle. That's really important. And this one has a stainless rod. It's not going to rust out on you, so that's really, really nice. Like I was saying before, Teslong got a hold of me, and in full disclosure, this was sent to me for free for T&E purposes for my personal review. And I was so excited about getting this rigid Teslong borescope, the updated version of it. And then when I opened up that tube, it was only 21 inches long. And I'm like, why did you guys stop there at 21 inches? I mean, I don't know. I wish they would have called me and asked me before they just tried to design this product. And why you would stop at 21 inches is beyond me. Even if they were to go an extra 6 or 8 inches, 26, 28 inches long, it really would have hit this out of the park. And what I would have personally liked to have seen is if they made the stainless steel rod 30 inches long. If it was 30 inches long, this would be the ultimate product. But the fact that they stopped it short at 21 inches, I mean, yeah, it might work great for an AR rifle or really short barreled bolt actions, but most bolt actions are going to be easily 24 inches long, and there's a lot of people out there, especially that are really inspecting their rifles bores, like bench rest rifle shooters that have bores barrels clean over 24 inches long. And the fact that you guys stopped it at 21 inches just makes me shake my head. And yes, I get it. You can try and go down the rifle's bore, obviously 21 inches, which I can do that here and show you guys. But, you know, this is a 22-inch barrel with a break. And this barrel is 25 inches long. So I'm running 4 inches short. And like most of you guys know, 4 inches mean everything. Just kidding. But I mean, obviously I'm stopping about right here. And let me pull this back out. I still got about 1 or 2 inches left of rifling, plus the chamber that I want to inspect. And yes, I mean, I can come around the backside and come through the chamber, inspect the chamber that way. And that's definitely possible, obviously. And, you know, and if you really want a rigid bore scope and don't mind checking your rifle's bore from the muzzle and then coming back around through the chamber, then this would be a great product for you, especially if you want something with a more rigid bore scope where you can twist this and follow an individual rifling down that rifle's bore. But once again, it's like you make this amazing product and I get so pumped and excited about it. And then when I open up that package, it's only 21 inches long. I just start shaking my head. And I was like, if you guys just would have made it an extra 8 inches, preferably 30 inches long, it would have covered damn near every situation out there in regards to checking out your rifle's bore. So Teslong, if you are watching this video, if you guys ever decide to update this bore scope, and I love everything about it, obviously the rigid rod, something you can measure off from the muzzle. If you want to inspect a particular area and get an idea where that defect might be in the rifle's bore, you can adjust this and get an exact idea where that defect is. That's awesome. But man, the fact that you guys didn't make this 30 inches long just makes me shake my head. And being that I have both of these and I have the flexible one, I can still spin that flexible shaft and check out an individual rifling from the chamber lands all the way up to the muzzle, no problem. And I'm just going to be honest with you, I probably won't even take this thing out of the box. I'll probably just keep on using this flexible one for $49.99. Now, if you have nothing but AR rifles, for pure example, and they got 16 or 18-inch barrels on them, then this might be great for you. But, you know, more times than not, the guys that are using rifle bore scopes, they're usually high-end precision shooters, bench rest rifle shooters. They're checking out their rifles bores, and I guarantee you those guys are going to have barrels 24 inches or longer. So the updated rigid version is just as clear as the original flexible model. They both record in 720p. And like I said before, you know, I'm not giving this a complete thumbs down. If you don't mind checking from the muzzle and then flipping this around and coming through the chamber, then so be it. Like for me personally, being that I already have the 40-inch flexible model, I probably won't even take this out of the box. And I guess enough of that. You know, it just depends if you absolutely need to have a rigid model or not. But I could still spin that flexible model and follow an individual rifling all the way down the bore. But if you absolutely have to have a rigid, you know, bore scope like this, and you don't mind coming from both ends, and then this might be the product for you. Now, this is just as clear as the original, and also keep in mind that you got to make sure you get this set up correctly for your rifle's bore, whether it's, you know, 22 LR or if it's 308, you're going to have to adjust this mirror in or out to make sure that the focus is correct so you get a clear picture on your screen. Now I already got this adjusted, and I'll show you how amazing this product is. It is super clear. It's amazing. Matter of fact, you see an individual hair there. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, you're looking at an individual hair, and that's where this rigid one is really going to shine. And I can inspect that individual hair, and I can spin this around really easy, but I'm going to be honest with you, I can do the very same thing with the flexible model for $49.99. But anyway, you know, where this is probably going to really shine is will definitely give you more control in regards to following an individual rifling down that rifle's bore. And that's where this is really going to shine. But like I said, you know, I could follow this all I want. And for example, say like I'm following this and I'm following this, and I'm actually going to splice into this video feed right now. So I'm going to click record. Now you guys are watching this off the recording, and I'm following that rifling all the way down, all the way down, and I want to follow that rifling all the way to the rifle's chamber from the muzzle. And you can see how clear it is. I mean, it's amazing for the price that you're paying. But being that this falls short at 21 inches, I can't go any further. And if I want, I have no clue what rifling that is. And if I want to continue that on, I'd have to come back around to the rifle's chamber. And I have no clue if I'm actually following that particular rifling. And that's where I just shake my head on this product. I just don't know why you guys didn't make this longer. I mean, yeah, I can come around through the chamber side. You got to be ultra careful with this. And you guys can see it is just crazy clear. And that's where, if your Borescope doesn't have a side-facing mirror like this, in my opinion, it's absolutely worthless. And you can see here, it's where the rifling lands are starting. But, you know, I have no clue if this is the rifling that I was just following or if this is it. And man, I just wish you guys would have made this 30 inches long. If you guys at Teslong make an updated version of this, I'd really like to see something at least 30 inches long. You know, and I could take this back up, and it depends on your firearm. You know, with this Ruger Precision rifle, I could take this all the way up. But yeah, it stops once again. I can't go through out through the muzzle. So I'm like, gosh, why you guys didn't make this 30 inches long is beyond me. This product is definitely clear, though. You can see, I mean, the resolution is absolutely amazing, and it's identical to the flexible version. You're not going to tell a difference between the two. So once again, I think it just comes down to the fact of whether or not you want the rigid version or the flexible. But I'm going to be honest with you, you can see that hair again right there. And I'll actually splice into this video feed. I'll start recording now. You can see how clear that is. I mean, I can check out that individual hair, and it's just crazy. That is kind of where this rigid does have obviously more control. You know, it's crazy. I can even check out that hair, how clear that is. I mean, it's just insane. But you're not going to tell a difference between the flexible version and the rigid version. So I'm just going to pull this out of here, stop this recording. So once again, and not to beat a dead horse, but if you absolutely need to have a rigid style borescope, this might be the product for you, as long as you don't mind coming from the muzzle and then coming back around to the chamber to fully inspect that rifle's bore. But in my personal opinion, if I can't follow that individual rifling from the muzzle to the chamber, it's not going to happen with this. And the reason why is because if you have to stop 3/4 of the way down and then pull it back out and then reinsert it through the chamber, you're not going to know for a fact which one you were just following. And it's virtually impossible. If not, makes it really difficult. That's just something I don't want to screw around with. And the fact that the original flexible model can do all of that for less money, you know, $49.99 compared to $69.99, I will probably never take this out of the box. And if Teslong, if you are watching this and you guys update this to a 30-inch model, then this will go in the box and it will most likely never come back out, because I do like that rigid feature. It does give you more control, but I can still spin this flexible model and do the exact same thing, which I've proven in the first video. Well, enough of that. I think I've beaten the dead horse enough. And if you guys enjoyed this video, scratch my back and I'll keep on scratching yours by not only subscribing, like, share, but become a Patreon. It helps more than you know. I'll see you guys in the next video.